Bob Barker saying good night, everybody.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Kevin O'Keefe.
Number 2.
My name is Kevin O'Keefe.
Number 3.
My name is Kevin O'Keefe.
Only one of these people is the real Kevin O'Keefe and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panel. Co-star of Murder, She Wrote, Ron Masak. From head of the class, Christine Hodge. Author, actor, and composer, Steve Allen. And Steve Allen's glamorous wife, actress Jayne Meadows. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Gordon Elliott.
Good morning. Good morning, panel. Ron, good to see you again. Christine, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And I'd like to introduce not one, but 2 legends to our game today. Marvelous. Please, Steve Allen and Jayne Meadows.
Thank you. Oh, nice.
Otherwise known as the chronically overachieving couple of Hollywood. Books, plays, musicals, television, movies.
He's very talented.
If it isn't screwed down, he'll pick it up and use it.
Write a song about it.
He'll write a song about it, turn it in, whatever. I even saw you one day sing a menu.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I'll sing anything.
We've got a couple of opportunities for you to go through the menus this afternoon or this morning or whenever the show may be played in a market near you. We've got our first story, which I'd like you to attend to. It's presented by our first team of challengers, all 3 of whom claim to be Kevin O'Keefe. I, Kevin O'Keefe, proposed to my girlfriend in a most unusual way. To capture her love wasn't easy. So when I decided to pop the question, I knew I had to be ingenious. I thought that was ingenuous for a moment, ingenious. So I made a date for the movies. My girlfriend didn't suspect a thing when the theater went dark, but instead of the usual coming attractions, a silent movie with subtitles flickered across the screen. It was a 4-minute movie I made myself. I had talked my local theater owner into showing it. At the very end of the movie, I mouthed the words over the subtitle, "Will you marry me?" The audience, consisting of friends and family, cheered. My girlfriend looked at me with tears in her eyes and uttered the word I wanted to hear, yes. Signed, Kevin O'Keefe. Well, welcome, you cinematic Romeos, and we'll be back with a story of this movie rated R for romance after this. Welcome back to Tell the Truth. All right, panel, these 3 people all claim to be Kevin O'Keefe, who proposed on the silver screen. Let's start the questioning of 1 true believer and 2 liars with Jayne Meadows.
Kevin, number 1, where was this movie theater? And the name of it, please.
It was the Washington Township Triplex in New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Number 2, didn't your girlfriend suspect when the audience was friends and relatives?
No, she didn't see them. They were all placed up front of the movie theater, so when we came in the back, she couldn't even see them.
Oh, you mean there were other people in the audience?
That's correct.
How much, number 3, how much did you pay to make this movie?
I pay $1,000 to make the film, or actually the processing of the film.
You can actually go into...
I love your use of the word theater.
Theater, yes, yes.
Stephen, more theater.
Thank you. Number 3, did the movie that you made have a title?
Yes, it was called Looking for Mrs. Goodwife.
That's pretty hip. How long had you known the young lady at that point?
We'd been dating each other for about 2 years.
I see. Number 2, how long now have you been married?
We're not married yet.
Ah, it's recently, I assume. Number 1, what else was showing at the theater? I mean, when most people walk by, what would they have expected to see?
Pretty Woman was the movie that was playing that night.
I see. I rest my case.
We're going to leave it there. Moving along, the beautiful Christine Hodge.
Number 2, how did you convince the man who owned the theater to show your short?
Well, I went down to the theater and got him in his office and explained to him what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it, and gave him a big soft soap and the romantic thing, and he bought it and let me put it on his theater.
Number 1, if it was a triplex, what were the other 2 movies playing?
I believe Betsy's Wedding and Back to the Future 3.
Great. Number 3, how did you go about getting the film and the crew to do this film?
Well, it was a friend of mine. We actually shot it on video and just regular camcorder video, and then it was bumped up from there to 35 millimeter.
I see.
Ingenious. Ron Mazak.
Number 3, how long did it take you to make this 4-minute film?
We actually did it over a weekend. My girlfriend is a stewardess, and she was out of town that weekend, so we put the whole thing together very quickly while she was out of town.
Number 2, what city are you from?
I'm from Long Island, New York.
Long Island, New York. Number 1, did this make the newspapers?
Yes, it did.
Nationwide, number 1?
Well, as far as I know, yes, it did make nationwide news.
And number 2, when is the wedding planned for?
It's going to be September 28th, 1991.
Number 3, when is your wedding date?
Yeah, but when will it be a national release? Okay, time's up, panel. Time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 2. There we are, number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, the team will receive $3,000. Panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, we'll begin with Jayne Meadows.
Well, I must say, number 2 and number 3 had very good answers. But number 1 has a sneaky look and a devilish face, and he looks just like he would do something like that, doesn't he? My vote for number 1.
Steve Allen.
Oddly enough, I had exactly the same feeling about the sneaky look in the eyes of number 3. Jayne and I are very sensitive to different kinds of sneakiness.
You would have married
Therefore, I vote for number 3.
Okay, thank you. And Christine?
I'm telling you, those sneaky eyes, they got me on number 2.
All right. Okay, Ron.
Well, I'll tell you, Gordon, I was trying to do all those sneaky sheriff kind of things. I was looking at their hands to see if they had wedding rings on, which they didn't, and they all had that answer correctly. Number 3, when he said that he found the time because his fiancée was a stewardess and out of town, that kind of sold me. Whichever one of you it is, I'm a romantic, and I think that's terrific. God bless you. I vote for number 3.
Okay, let's find out now. The votes are all in. As you can see, 1 vote for number 1, 1 vote for number 2, and 2 votes for number 3. An even spread of bets. Now it's time to find out who that real celluloid Romeo is. Will the real Kevin O'Keefe please stand up? You got it, Jayne. You got it. Tremendous. Now, let's first of all meet the imposters. Number 2, 1 vote, and what's your real name? What do you do?
My name is Rich Knudsen, and I'm a Beverly Hills cop.
Number 3, 2 votes. What's your real name and occupation?
My name is Tony Auer. I'm a Lutheran minister, and I've been married for 23 years.
Okay. Now, Kevin, let's meet the girl who went all the way for this proposal on the big screen, Beth Corey. Here you are, hook, line, and sinker. Now, what... You said, number 3, you said the movie was, the name of your movie was what?
Looking for Mrs. Goodwife.
Right, but what is the name? What was the name of the film?
The salesman only rings once. I'm a salesman.
Okay. Well, we have a little clip of your romantic introductory movie offer. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. Fantastic. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. It's right. Thank you very much. There were 3 incorrect votes, so you walked away with $1,500, and thank you very much, all of you, and Beth for playing To Tell the Truth today. After this message, we'll be back with a man who had a long relationship with this Hollywood legend. We're back. Let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Raymond Dahm.
Number 2.
My name is Raymond Dahm.
Number 3.
My name is Raymond Baum.
Okay, now it's up to you, panel, to locate the real Raymond Dom, and here is his story, if you'd like to read along with me. I, Raymond Dom, spent many years walking with the legendary Greta Garbo. Sometimes I'd pick her up at her 52nd Street apartment in New York City, and we'd walk miles to Greenwich Village and back. We discussed everything. She hated people who hum. She often said she wished she were more religious. But one thing she wouldn't talk about was her career. She was a woman at odds with her extraordinary fame. She said she always wanted 2 lives, one for the movies and one for herself. After our walks, I made notes of our conversations, which she herself approved. And now I've finished a book simply titled Walking with Garbo. Signed, Raymond Dom. Welcome, gentlemen, and good luck, contestants. And let's start the questioning on this with Ron Masak.
Number 1, when you said that she didn't like people who hummed. Why?
She felt that they weren't really paying attention, that they were preoccupied, not really in conversation with her.
Number 2, you said that she wished she had more religion. Did she have a religious background at all?
I think just a general religion. I don't think she had any particular religion.
Number 3, she made headlines when the movies would say Garbo talks. What was that film that Garbo talked in?
Anna was her first picture. She talked in.
Number 1, did she ever...
Sorry, Christine, your turn.
Number 3, how did you start walking with Garbo?
Well, I worked in a bookstore in New York, and that's where I first met her.
And number 2, how did she approve these things herself?
Well, she saw some of the writing, and she had no objections to the writing of the manuscript.
Did she know, number 2, when you were walking with her, that you were going to write about her conversations?
I don't think so.
Number 1, what did she like to walk most? Where did she like to go?
Where she liked to walk?
Yes.
We walked to Greenwich Village. We would go up to Gracie Mansion, along Madison Avenue.
Okay.
We'll move along. Steve Allen.
The comedians of the 1930s did endless jokes about Garbo's feet. They were supposed to have been big. Were they really... I'm sorry, I meant to address this to number 1. Were they so?
8.5 AA. Which you can take whatever way you want.
Yeah. I'll take them one at a time.
Yes.
Number 2, what other books have you written?
Nothing.
I see. This is your first, all right. Number 3, approximately how old were you when you first met Miss Garbo?
About 45.
I see.
We're going to move along. Jayne Meadows.
Yes. Garbo had a very famous line that she was supposed... Number 1, a very famous line that she was supposed to have said. The most famous. Do you know what I'm going after?
You mean in Grand Hotel?
Well,
I want to be alone?
yes. Did she really say that?
In Grand Hotel, yes.
Number 2, who is your publisher?
Harper and Row.
And number 3, why do you think Garbo was so shy?
I think she wasn't shy. As such, she just didn't want to be bothered with most people.
God, that beautiful woman.
Time is up, panel. Time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, which isn't all that difficult sometimes, the team will receive $3,000. Panel, are you ready to cast your ballot? If so, we'll begin with Ron.
Well, I thought I heard number 3 make a mistake on his name, for 1, although the answers were wonderful. Number 2 looked at number 1 when he was asked the question, when Steve asked the question about how many books he'd written, and he said, just 1, didn't I? Number 1, number 1 seemed to have all the right answers without really volunteering them too much, but he had all the right answers, so I went with number 1.
Okay. Moving along, Christine, your thoughts?
For me, it was very difficult. They all were very convincing. But I just got the sort of the feeling that if I were Garbo, I would probably walk with number 1.
Well, there you go. What a compliment, I think. Steve?
I have the feeling that number 1 has... This is stupid because they fool you on this show. More the look of someone who might have written such a book as Walking with Garbo. Oddly enough, I'm working on a book right now called Stumbling with Dietrich. So I will go for number 1.
All right. You've got the Kane Walker version, right?
Jayne?
Yeah, Jayne, are you there?
I think just to be different, because they've all said number one, and you were all very convincing. But it looks to me like number two would be a friend of Garbo's. I'm going for number two.
Well, here's an opportunity. The votes are all in. 3 votes for number one, 1 vote for number two, and nothing for number 3. Now let's find out who the real friend of Garbo is. Will the real Raymond Dom please stand up? Congratulations. You got it again, Jayne. Well, there you go. Now, can I ask you, was she a happy woman?
Oh, I think she was fun-loving, and that's the thing people missed about her. She was had lovely times joking, and she was a prankster. And I think this is something I hope to tell in the book, that she was a fun-loving, and she loved life. She loved life.
Why didn't she go back to the screen?
I think she was disappointed because the last film, the finances fell through. Yeah. And she felt that without that monolithic giant MGM behind her, that without that kind of backing and stability, I just think she felt maybe they don't want me.
Okay.
If the money isn't there.
Thank you very much. Number 1, 3 votes. What's your real name? What do you do?
My name is Rudy Marinacci. I'm art director of the Brentwood Blah Blah magazine.
Well, you are a writer. Number 3, your real name and occupation.
My name is Leo Castillo, and I work at Van Cleef & Arpels selling gems.
There you go. 3 incorrect votes for $1,500 a vote, so your team will receive $1,500. Congratulations. Thanks for playing one-on-one. Oh, sorry, thanks for playing Tell the Truth today. We'll be back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience right after this. Welcome back to Tell the Truth. Now it's time to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience. Burton, who do you have for us today?
Well, Gordon, today we have Jackie Dow, who's up here on her honeymoon from Montreal, Canada.
Jackie. Great. Well, hopefully we've got, this will be 2 surprises for your honeymoon. You're going to play a game called One-on-One. I want you to meet a lady with 2 stories, Helen Hudson. Welcome, Helen. Now, Jackie, Helen is going to tell us 2 stories, only one of which is the truth. If you can spot that true story, you'll win $500. Helen, what's your first story?
I'm the first person to sing the national anthem at all 26 Major League ballparks.
Now, that may or may not be the truth, so let's listen to Helen's second story.
I work for the U.S. Treasury. I'm personally responsible for issuing President Bush's paycheck.
Now, panel, to help Jackie win that $500, you'll ask one question about each of those stories. We'll start each of them. Start with story number 1, that of the singer. We'll start with Jayne.
What key do you sing the national anthem in?
E.
E.
Yes.
Now, you'd know. Steve.
Have you ever forgotten the words to the national anthem?
Never. Never. No. I know a lot of people have, but...
Christine.
Not you, Helen. What ballpark has the best acoustics?
It's hard to measure because it depends on how many people are there. Houston, the Astrodome, was actually pretty good.
Okay.
Ron.
Did you sing in Jack Murphy Stadium before or after Roseanne Barr tried it?
I was after Roseanne.
Good move.
Surprised they let me sing, right?
Okay, Jackie, you have heard Helen's first story. Now questions on story number 2, that of the paycheck of President Bush. Jayne again.
How often is the president paid?
As often as most of us, twice a month, 15th and the 30th.
Steve.
In what sense should we interpret the phrase that you issue his paycheck? What does that mean exactly?
Well, it's kind of fancy lingo for I basically push the buttons on the computer and it whips it up.
I see.
Christine.
Who signs the check?
Well, the treasurer always signs the check, right? Catherine Ortega, she's on the bottom of your $1 bill.
Ron.
Do you also pay Vice President Quayle's allowance?
Right. Right, the whole cabinet allowance.
I think his mother gets it, and then he hands it out. She hands it out. Okay, now, Jackie, you've heard the cross-examination. Is Helen, in your opinion, the singer, or does she issue Bush his paycheck?
Actually, I think she's a singer. She seems to have a very clear voice.
Okay, if you're right, you win $500. Helen, what is your true story?
To tell the truth, I am the singer.
Congratulations, Jackie. You've won $500. Thanks for playing one-on-one. Thank you very much. Now, Helen, we've got a clip of you singing at the grand finale at San Diego. This is
Jack Murphy Stadium.
What, this is the 26th?
Yes, it was the 26th. It was Monday night.
Let's have a look.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Helen Hudson with the singing of our national anthem. And on behalf of the San Diego Padres, manager Greg Reddock is presenting Helen with 26 long-stemmed red roses, one for each city along her Major League tour.
Congratulations, Helen. Thank you very much. Thanks for playing To Tell the Truth. We'll be back after these words. Don't go away. Welcome back. Jayne, you have a perfect record.
I do.
I think you're the first one to have achieved it.
Really?
You are indeed. Congratulations. And we'll be back next time for the next edition of To Tell the Truth. Cheerio.
Welcome to the warm blanket of love that is George Gray.
Get out!
New half hours of The Weakest Link. Tonight at 4 only on GSN.
GSN.
I'm the master reptile.
See you tomorrow.
We love you. We'll see you here on the Family Feud.
Show until next time, this is Peter Tomarkin on behalf of the Focati Rug saying thanks for pressing your luck. Bye-bye.
Anyway, we have just 10 seconds to say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. So long.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
We got 5 seconds.
Oh, no, we have 3,
2, 1.
Bye.